So this video needs a little bit of explaining before we get into it. We are on the Salton Sea and there are military jets flying overhead all day long. And in this instance, we're setting up for this shoot and two jets come overhead and they're so low that we can see the helmets in the cockpits. One of them does this crazy maneuver and barrel rolls directly over our heads, and we grab the camera and we aim it for the sky, and we didn't get it at all. But what we did manage to do is knock the autofocus out of whack, and so the camera was constantly trying to focus on the background or my face or Julie's face or the glasses in our hands. It was really hard to watch. It actually hurt our eyes. So we took the audio file out of the footage, ran it through a free animation software, and that's what we've got here. So if you're wondering why don't these characters look anything like you guys, again, I remind you, it was free animation software. You get what you get. It was either Julie as a cat-human hybrid or both of us as unicorns with rainbow horns. I think we did okay. And now that you're adequately prepared for the weirdness that is this episode of the Bourbon Van, let's start the weekend. They're putting on a show. Those were way bigger jets than we've been seeing the rest of the week.
Wow, that was fun. That was the first one today. This is why we can't leave this place, because these jets are like amazing.
Might as well stick around. Welcome to the Bourbon Van. I'm Phil.
I'm Julie. We're back at the Salton Sea because I just can't resist a second 5-Sip Friday here.
Well, if you joined us last week, then you know that we drank our 5-Sip directly until the sun went completely away. It was so dark you couldn't see us at the end. Julie said we got to do another one in the light so the people can see, and
today's cloudy, but that's all right. We're gonna give it a go anyway.
And it's just such a weird, cool, beautiful area. It smells terrible over here.
It doesn't smell great today. The air's pretty stagnant.
It's hazy. It is what it is, and you may again hear more thundering jets coming through here. We've seen some incredible military planes, and there's trains in the distance, and this is what happens when you're filming outside. You never know how it's going to go. One thing we do know is about to happen is we're going to attempt a 5-Sip Friday. We nose the glass, take 5 sips, trying to figure out what in the heck we're drinking, say whether or not we like it. Ultimately, it's revealed. This sample comes to us today from our friends Eric C. and Ruby Heart 921.
Thanks, guys.
So excited to get into this. They've never given us something that wasn't delightful.
True. I feel like it doesn't smell great here, but I'm excited to drink this because it's gonna smell better, and I trust their palates, and it's gonna be delicious.
I'm eager to stick my nose in here just to get it out of whatever's happening out here.
It smells good. A little fishy. No, I'm just kidding. But it does smell fishy out here. Oaky. Caramely. It smells like bourbon.
Red fruit, butterscotch, oak and vanilla. That oak is real interesting there. There's a heavy dose of oak.
I'm gonna double down right now. It smells like bourbon.
Sip one.
Cheers. Oh, let's start the weekend.
That's what we're supposed to say.
There's a little hint of mint in here. Nice caramel. Good oak. Good flavor. I like the flavor. It's a little bit warm too, so I'll have to think about the proof early on.
Thought this was going to be a real dry oak. And then it kind of changed gears on me. At first I was thinking, wow, super well aged. Now I'm thinking just a lot of that oak. There's a nice char there. Ooh, that's tasty. Whatever this is, I'm enjoying it on sip one.
Yeah, it's a little hint of spiciness too.
There's a spice for sure.
Man, I hope we caught that jet on camera.
That was amazing. I'm a little slow today. I'm exhausted.
Phil had a full weekend of running.
I put in 30 miles the last 3 days.
Yep.
You put in more than 20 over the last 2 days.
Yep.
It's a good reason to go drink whiskey.
I did say it was going to make you feel better.
Julie suggested that the whiskey would perk me right up.
So we've gone long enough without telling you about sip 2, but I do remember when I was drinking that, I kept thinking there was an MGP quality to this. There's a little bit of, I would say potpourri, but it's more floral, a little bit of floral note to it. Sip 3. I like the spice. I think there's a hint of apple in this.
Yeah, I was trying to pick out the fruit. It doesn't, there's a little raspberry maybe. Apple's the predominant fruit.
Yeah, I think it's like a green apple too, because it's quite sweet, but a little tart.
Yeah.
But it gets buried by the nice oak and the vanilla there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a bit of a changeling, hard to pin down. That oak is continually changing. At one moment, I think really well aged, and the next moment I'm thinking just that really heavy char note that I really love on a good bourbon.
Yeah.
Interesting. And I'm with you. I think this is a bourbon.
Yeah.
Are you ready for sip 4?
I am. I could be making this up, but I do get a baby hint of honey roasted nuts. But just, I mean, like, I'm just searching for something that's different in the flavor profile.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a little bit more honey.
It's fairly nondescript as far as all the flavors go. Nothing is sticking out like a sore thumb. The most important notes that I'm getting are all oak based.
Yeah.
This is an interesting whiskey. The spice is pretty heavy. Cinnamon, allspice, maybe. Everything is kind of coming and going.
Yep.
Nothing is really staying in one place. You'd sometimes find that on a blended whiskey, on a blended
interesting.
bourbon.
Yeah.
Could be something like that. I got to admit, maybe it's just being completely exhausted. I have absolutely no idea what we're tasting here.
Me either. I keep thinking maybe I should, but I can't even pin down the location of this one.
Yeah, difficult. Sip 5?
Yeah. I have to think this one over.
I think I have a guess on this one.
Oh, wow, that was a fast turnaround. Literally like less than 30 seconds you went from I have no idea to have a guess.
Well, let me tell you what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, here we go. I think it's a bourbon. You noted earlier that it had some MGP qualities to it. Completely agree. The spice, that extra effort on the oak, it seems like something unusual is going on there. I think that this is potentially something that's sourced from MGP or sourced from multiple places, because I do get a bit of a blend sort of feel from it.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Penelope on this one.
Oh, interesting.
Penelope, Architect, something like that. We've only had it in samples. We've never had a bottle of it.
Right.
But I remember it being a little spicy, having a lot of different oak character to it. And MGP, I think that's where that one comes from. So let's say Penelope, Architect, and I'm going to go 112 proof.
Love it. Great. I'm going to high five you just for doubling down on all your efforts.
One other thing that I do want to say is that I really am enjoying this.
Yes.
I think this is a tasty whiskey. I think it's really, really solid whiskey.
I agree. I'm really enjoying it, so we'd like to tell you if we like it or not. I do like this one. For me, I've only had this in samples, but I'm going to go Fortigate, which is not something that I would normally ever guess. I've only had it in samples. I remember it being a little bit oaky. This strikes me as something just a little bit nicer. We don't get it here, so there's no way that I can verify, except for this trusty envelope.
There it is.
I don't think that it's very proofy. Everything in me is saying like 101 type proof, but I feel like their stuff is a little bit more. So maybe I'll just like cut the difference and go 105.
I think that's fair. Yeah. And good. That's a great guess.
Bourbon.
I like that very much. Well, there you go. Penelope, Fortigate, and we both think it's a little bit elevated. This is a nice whiskey. So, all right, let's get into this envelope. Thank you once again, Eric C. and Ruby Heart 921.
And do you know what that means?
There's going to be a photo inside.
There's going to be a photo.
We love it.
Oh my gosh, look at how cute this is. Oh, they're just the best. It is, this is really funny because this was on Phil's #1 list of the year. It's Barrel Vantage.
It was like a top 5 whiskey for me last year. I love that whiskey.
That's funny. All right, so this is Barrel Vantage 114.44 proof, cast strength, blend straight bourbon whiskeys finished in Mizorana. Yes. Mizonera French and toasted American oak. So you were right there on proof.
Wow.
It's a bourbon, so that's good. It's funny that we didn't get barrel because you were in love with that last year.
What can I say? You know, things taste different in different places, but we both agreed that we really liked it. We both agreed that there was a lot of oak presence on there, an unusual oak presence. We both chose things that were sourced from MGP, and so I think we did pretty good today. 114.44 proof on that?
Yeah.
I guess 112.
You did guess 112.
Kind of having a good season so far on Five Sip Friday. Well, thanks again, Eric C. and Ruby Heart 921, and from wherever we are.
To wherever you are.
Cheers.
Cheers. Man, I hope we got that jet.
Can we do one of these somewhere else next time?
Absolutely. We're on our way out.